Hello, and welcome back to CBR's Wheel of Heroes, the show where we test your mind on all things superhero. On today's episode, we have quite a treat for you, as we'll be picking your brain over villains such as Helmut Zemo. Where has he been since his time spent in prison? How did he get out? Or maybe we'll ask about the world's new hero, John Walker. Or, and this could be the question that wins you the big bucks, who really is Captain America? If you're ready to test your strength, then let's spin that wheel. After the events of Endgame, the world is a little strange. The Avengers are in a rebuilding phase after losing Iron Man and Captain America, and those left behind are trying to pick up the pieces and continue their legacies. One thing that hasn't changed are the villains who will stop at nothing to enact their sweet little plans of world domination. In regards to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the villain to deal with is Helmut Zemo, who is truly the cause behind Iron Man's demise, and catalyst towards Cap's Back to the Past story. You see, back in Captain America Civil War, Helmut Zemo was a crazed but intelligent man hell-bent on making the Avengers suffer after the events that took place in Sokovia. Zemo lost his entire world, so he wanted to make sure the Avengers lost theirs. After unleashing the Winter Soldier onto the world, the Avengers divided into Team Cap and Team Iron Man, who duked it out over the Sokovia Accords and the fate of the Winter Soldier. This divide led into Avengers Infinity War, and many say that if the team was on the same page from the get-go, Thanos may have never snapped his fingers. But that's the past, and this is the now. After somehow escaping the CIA, Helmut Zemo has returned to finish what he started, and that's to bring the end of superheroism. With this new threat looming along with the woman in the black mask and red paint, the world needs its heroes. It needs Captain America, but not the one you think. When we last left Cap, he was handing his iconic shield to Sam Wilson, making him next in line to take on the mantle and title of Captain America. However, it seems like the world has taken a liking to the government's choice for Captain America. You better step aside, Falcon, because there's a new hero coming to town, and his name is John Walker. In the 80s, John Walker was nothing but a Cap-hating anarchist. Let me rephrase that. Vigilante, who loved nothing more than performing at rallies under the name Super Patriot and slander Captain America's legacy. That is, until he was asked to be Captain America, after Steve no longer agreed with the government's stance on what that mantle should be, and so stepped down. Despite hating Steve, John took to the role with pride and tried to live up to Steve Rogers' legacy. However, John Walker was not Steve Rogers. John Walker was brutal, many times beating those deemed evil into the afterlife. As more time passed, John began to crack under the pressure of living up to the mantle, which led to more violence. This is especially so after his former allies exposed his identity and, as a result, who his parents were. Let's just say they're no longer with us. After having a mental breakdown and giving up the mantle to a returning Steve Rogers, Walker would return as US Agent, which was just a more brass and abrasive version of his Captain America. He would join the West Coast Avengers on behalf of the government, and the rest is really history. Now, overall, we can't say that John Walker is a villain or ever really becomes one. He's a government-chosen extremist who believes his way of fighting for America is absolute. From the comics, people eat up his way of life as well, and this is where our conflict lies. I believe that after the blip, the world's view on heroes has been damaged. Their trust has diminished, and the government now has a chance to turn the tide, creating their own hero to stand above all. One who will shoot first and ask questions later, because later leads to another Thanos. However, to those pro-Steve, aka Falcon, all Walker is doing is tarnishing the legacy Rogers left behind, and soon these two sides will clash. So with John Walker taking the official title of Captain America, where does that leave Falcon? Currently, with what we know, Falcon will just be Falcon. What I love about this Falcon vs. John Walker story is it will capture the battle between the two identities of Captain America. The one the government wanted Steve Rogers to be, the soldier, versus the legacy Steve left behind. As Sam said himself, the legacy of what that shield is complicated, and at some point the two sides will clash. Hopefully in a way similar to the comics. In comic Sam Wilson, Captain America number 13, Sam as Captain America clashed with John Walker's alter ego US agent. Centered around the hashtag #TakeBackTheShield, the two went on an all-out brawl through Brooklyn over the ideology that is Captain America. Is the mantle something that represents taking down enemies overseas, or fighting against systemic issues rooted in America? In the end, Falcon defeated US agent, earning the title of Captain America. No matter what anyone else thinks or says, Steve is the one who gave him the shield, and above all, his opinion is the only one that matters. As Marvel begins to build its universe on Disney+, I am unsure if this battle will be something that takes place this season. Possibly we'll get a round 1 fight between Walker and Falcon where Walker takes the win. However, I see Falcon taking the mantle in a possible Season 2 or even 3, giving Sam time to come into his own as a solo hero. Also, the new Captain America is gonna need some time to crack and fall into his brutal US agent gimmick, becoming the main baddie down the line. Until their final battle, the two will go back and forth until one stands above all. That is, until Steve Rogers comes back, of course. Who do you think wins that fight? Captain America, Falcon, or Fake Cap over here? Rumor has it, a deal has been made despite Chris denying it. How do you think that story will play out? Possibly by that time, it'll be Bucky's turn to take the mantle.